5 starts now.
Straight ahead at 5, the Panhandle, Big Bend, and South Georgia all walloped by a vicious storm today. This is a time-lapse view from the WeatherStem camera at the Bainbridge Boat Basin. You can see the squall line moving through. Thank you so much for joining us at 5. I'm Julie Montanaro.
And I'm Jacob Murphy. First came the strong winds and then those powerful thunderstorms and tornado warnings. The severe weather leaving our region by about mid-afternoon, giving folks a chance to get out and survey the damage.
We do have team coverage this afternoon and some of the communities hardest hit. We are checking out damage to our east near the Jefferson-Madison line, out in the Panhandle where wind gusts topped 100 miles an hour, and in Jackson County where powerful winds overturned multiple homes and RVs. Let's start there. Stacy Inez is in Marianna right now. Stacy, describe what you see.
Julie, Jacob, just pure devastation. We're here at the Florida Caverns RV Resort in Marianna, and I want you to look at what is right behind me. So this RV here completely tipped over. You can see so many parts of it. You can see the ceiling on the ground there, and then just over here also the car. A tree came down right on top of this car. This is just one example of the damage that we're seeing. So if you come with me this way, you'll get a wide view of what we are looking at here. Every building, every RV, every home has some level of damage at this point that we are able to see. Now, if you take a look at your screen, you'll get a look at some video. We have some closer shots of what we've been able to see while we're out here. 7 people, the sheriff says, with minor injuries. He says, though, no one is reported dead at this time, but several other deputies, he says they got here within minutes of the tornado passing through, and they were able to quickly rescue people from their RVs, people that were trapped. Now, this stretch of Highway 90 near the Florida Caverns Resort, this is also formerly known as Arrowhead, just for reference. It's completely blocked. The power crews are already out. They're working on getting these lines cleared up and hopefully up and running again too. Now, I also spoke with a woman who was inside her RV when this storm came through. Listen as she describes the moment when she heard this morning.
There was this loud, really loud wind that came through, and then the next thing I knew, it was flipped over. My RV flipped over. I was underneath the mattress. It was total panic. I was just scared, afraid. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get out or if I was going to be hurt, but I wasn't hurt or anything like that. I just crawled my way from underneath and then I walked out.
Now, 2 other important things to mention. There are temporary shelters at Chipola Ministries and the First Baptist Church of Marianna. Also, officials have set up a citizens information line, and this is extremely important. The sheriff says he wants to make sure that people who just have questions or need assistance are calling the citizens information line and not tying up the 911 phone lines, the dispatchers, and also calling the sheriff's office. So that number, 850-718-0020, and we'll have that for you on our website as well. But he said it's really important to call that number if you just have general questions or need to figure out sort of where to go from here, because they really want to leave the 911 dispatch to those true emergencies to make sure the crews can do what they need to do to help people just try to figure out how they are going to move forward from here. Of course, we'll be here. We'll continue monitoring the damage and bringing you the latest as much as possible. For now, live in Jackson County, Stacy Inez, WCTV Eyewitness News.
Stacy, the video of all of those RVs and campers is just unbelievable. We're so thankful nobody was seriously hurt there. Thank you so much. Well, the storms churned through our area around lunch hour today. Strong winds toppling trees and downing power lines, all of it moving west to east.
Yeah, in Madison County, the sheriff's office says damage was minimal with no reported injuries or homes damaged, but one woman did see quite a bit of damage in her yard. Our Savannah Kelly talked with that homeowner a short time ago. She's live for us near Lamont. Savannah.
Yeah, Jacob, Julie, this big pile of metal and wood is all that's left of that woman's garage. The entire 320-foot building was flown through the air and toppled upside down during the storm. Now, we did talk to that homeowner earlier this afternoon, Marilyn Crofts. She told us she's the only one in her neighborhood who had any damage from the storm. Thankfully, her home and her cars weren't damaged, and of course, she's most thankful that she and her husband weren't hurt. Croft said when the storm came through, the sound was overwhelming.
And I almost thought it sounded like an airplane coming in for a landing. I mean, it was very noisy, and I thought, what in the world is that? And I was waiting for an impact, you know, maybe to hit the house or something. But it all quieted down then after about, I don't know, 20 seconds or so of noise.
Crofts lives near the county line between Madison and Jefferson. Both counties' sheriff's offices say there have been no reports of injuries or homes damaged so far. Here in Madison County, there were some cars that were hit by fallen trees and some power outages, but overall, this area fared pretty well. Jacob, Julie, back to you.
All right, that frightening moment when you hear that loud sound and you don't know if your home's going to be the one targeted. Savannah, thanks so much.
Well, crews have been busy trying to repair power lines all day and restore electricity. We've seen a number of folks without electricity dropping as the day goes on as those crews are working out there. This map provided by the state of Florida shows Taylor, Madison, and Jefferson counties with the highest percentage of people without power right now. Also, about 20% of folks in Gadsden and 10% still without power in Leon County. This storm seemed to pack a punch all across North Florida today. The Panhandle hit particularly hard.
Yeah, that's right. Our Zach Dahlheimer continues our team coverage now, looking at how the storm left its mark on areas just to our west. Zach?
Yeah, good evening, Jacob, Julie. We're getting a look specifically out of Bay County. Now, many of us know around here this was an area that was hit really hard by Hurricane Michael a little more than 5 years ago. In fact, the video you're seeing here, this is out of Panama City Beach, about a couple hours drive here from the capital city. We're going to go ahead and give you a closer look of this video from our sister station, WJHG. This is in the east end of the city, right around Treasure Island Marina and Treasure Island Resort condos, not too far from St. Andrews State Park. Now, our colleagues at WJHG earlier today said they got reports of significant damage throughout the east end of the city. Now, with this next video, we're going to go back on Highway 98 across the Hathaway Bridge into Panama City. When speaking of Hurricane Michael, this, along with other areas east of there, Mexico Beach, really got hit hard from damage there, and you could see damage specifically on a lot of homes all around Panama City. And now finally want to head back over to the east end of Panama City Beach and show you another vantage point. This is off of Thomas Drive around the Pirates Cove Marina. Just look at those neighborhoods there, those streets. Lots and lots of damage to homes in that neighborhood as well. The Lower Grand Lagoon section in the east end of Panama City Beach, also a popular place for visitors coming in to enjoy the beaches and St. Andrews State Park nearby. We have more video from this part of the Panhandle that we're going to show you coming up on Eyewitness News at 5:30, and then at 6 we'll show you photos and videos from you, our viewers, right here in South Georgia, and agencies like the Leon County Sheriff's Office all around here in Leon County. Jacob, Julie?
Yeah, you hate to see the degree of devastation there, too. You know, you think of this area as just kind of recovering from Hurricane Michael and picking up the pieces from that, and then to see scenes like this again in Panama City. Tough stuff.
All too familiar to 2018 for sure.
Well, as that storm was moving through, Governor DeSantis did issue a state of emergency and activated the State Guard to help with recovery efforts. The state of emergency covers 49 counties, mostly in the Big Bend and the Panhandle. Hurricane Michael, as we mentioned, impacted many of the same communities that were hit hard today.
It's discouraging. But again, you know, that's Bay County and the Panhandle is a very resilient community. I'm sure they're going to bounce back. We're going to be there. The governor's already mentioned we're going to be there as long as it takes to help them recover.
Florida's Emergency Operations Center is still activated this afternoon at level 1.
All right, let's now take this view of Shell Point. And if you had seen some of the new newscast, for example, we showed you the view of Shell Point Beach during the storm, night and day compared to what we're viewing now. The sun is out, hardly a cloud in the sky, maybe a gentle breeze or two, and just so different than what we saw earlier, Mike. Every one of our viewers was impacted in some way with this system.
Absolutely right. And we had the strong winds, a lot of them as expected, way ahead of the actual storms, all tied in with this really large storm system that's been over the eastern half of the country. These are the storm reports in the last 24 hours that go from the plains around the Gulf Coast and up the mid-Atlantic, and particularly clustered across parts of the southeast. Now, the line of storms itself is weaker, and it's way to our east. So we are done with the severe threat, but this is a closer view of the storm reports. And in particular, these are the tornado reports. We just saw those scenes from Panama City and from Mariana. I looked back, and these were the supercells that were ahead of the main line. We had 2 of them back to 515. There was one just to the east of Destin. That's the one that went over Blue Mountain Beach, had a wind gust to 106 miles per hour at a weather stem station there. And then the other cell is the one that came across Panama City. And these are the basic tracks. So the one that hit Panama City is the same cell that came through Mariana. That's the one that produced the tornadoes there too, and thankfully weakened as it moves up over parts of Seminole and Miller counties, whereas the one that came in around Blue Mountain Beach, that one moved up through parts of the Panhandle and up into Dothan and caused some issues there too. These are the big rotating supercell thunderstorms that were way ahead of the line. Well, now I'm happy to say that that line is a lot weaker and all the showers are pretty much out of our way, except for these little fast-moving stragglers, parts of Taylor and Lafayette, Suwannee, Hamilton counties. You can have a little 2 or 3 minute shower as they move on by. Likewise, from say Homerville down to around Fargo, but nothing severe coming out of these at all. We do have a nice little break coming our way. It's going to be chilly. Tomorrow's high only going to be in the 50s, and we've got a couple mornings in the 30s, but Friday, that's going to be a strong storm system too. Not to this level, but we do have to be weather aware for maybe some severe storms coming back, different types of storms on Friday.
Oh, let's hope, we have this day of sunshine. Maybe we can pick up some pieces, get some tarps on roof, kind of take those first steps before the next round.
Yeah, we need a breather. Thank you, Mike. And still ahead here at 5, we're following a developing situation on Tallahassee's south side. A suspect opens fire on police. A manhunt reportedly follows. What we know when we come back.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser powers through tough messes, so it makes it look like I spent hours cleaning. And you know I didn't.
It makes my running shoe look like new. It's amazing.
It's so good. Makes it look like I have magical powers.
Magic Eraser and sheets make cleaning look easy.
Saving money is now more important than ever for seniors. But if you purchased a $9.95 guaranteed acceptance plan, you could easily find yourself overpaying for very little life insurance coverage. With the $9.95 rate, a 65-year-old male receives less than $900 in coverage. For $10,000 in coverage, he would pay over $110 a month with a 2-year waiting period. Fortunately, with Senior Life Insurance Company, he pays less than $58 a month for $10,000 in protection. There's no waiting period, no medical exam, and he saves over $600 a year by choosing Senior Life. A 65-year-old female saves over $400 a year. Don't overpay for your life insurance. Call now to see how much money you could save with Senior Life. We could help you get cash back from your current overpriced policy. Call now to lock in your coverage and low monthly rate. For your free quote, call now.
I'm Eric, and this is Howard from Cantor and Pintaluga. We're the pain guys from 1-800-411-PAIN. We've spent the last 20 years helping people injured in car accidents and slip and falls. After 911, call 411, 1-800-411-PAIN.
Consult a nurse. Call 844-70-NURSE. It's free.
Every morning as my family gathers, I'm reminded of the warmth and comfort Trademark Home Center has brought into our lives. Because a home is more than just where a person lives. It's where one finds love and laughter. Where every step is filled with joy and discovery. Every detail, every corner speaks of the craftsmanship they offer. I just wish I wouldn't have waited so long to give them a call, but I'm glad I did. Right now, get top dollar paid for your trade-in and $0 down for landowners. Trademark Home Center in Monticello.
Give the gift everyone is asking for. Tickets to the Cleveland Port Food and Wine Festival, presented by Peter Boulware Toyota. Buy tickets at clevelandporttcc.com.
You don't see the craft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much.
A 17-year-old is now in custody following a manhunt in Tallahassee today. That search on the ground and in the sky as police considered him armed and dangerous. This is the scene earlier this afternoon. Tallahassee police responding to a disturbance at the Greens at Old St. Augustine Apartments. TPD says the teen fired multiple rounds at officers and then ran. TPD did post a description of the teen on social media as they searched for him. Patrol cars, as you can see, flooding that area and a chopper flying overhead. Now, the search lasted about 2 hours and it ended just blocks really from where it began at the Whispering Pines apartments off Blairstone Road. Police say that teen was taken into custody without incident. We don't know yet what charges he'll be facing.
The severe weather didn't derail the first day of the Florida legislative session this morning. Governor Ron DeSantis giving his State of the State address as tornado warnings were still active in the Big Bend. The governor touting bills passed under his watch in Florida, comparing them to policies other states have prioritized. We'll have much more from opening day of the session coming up at 6.
And still ahead, the same storm system that barreled through Florida today forced some folks in Texas to take cover in closets. We're going to have one family story of survival when we come back.